Welcome back, guys, to some more Strategic Command. If you guys are enjoying this series, make sure to hit that like button because we definitely need more viewers on this series. As much as I'd love to play it, it's been trailing off since episode 1, so check out episode 1, get started on this beginning, and let's move into it. So it's saying here from Red Army headquarters that General Karol Sierwierki and Stanisław Popławski inform us that the People's Army of Poland is prepared to recruit and train more men to fight alongside the Red Army. With our help, the Polish 1st and 2nd Armies will be formed near Minsk for a cost of 150 MPPs at 25 MPPs a turn for 6 turns. Now, usually these can be really expensive offers. In this case, it's not, so I'm going to say yes. So we're going to go ahead and allow them to form the Polish and 2nd Army at Minsk. Hopefully, this is going to allow us to really move forward a lot faster. And, of course, this Polish army is going to assist us in basically gaining victory in a much more timely way than we otherwise would. So we're definitely going to be taking over this area here. I'm going to try to move the Polish army. In fact, I want to get this rocket artillery out of the way. Well, we still got 3 shells. We might as well try and kill this unit, this German anti-tank unit. Let's move this guy over here, and we'll probably just finish them off with the 5th Army. And there we go. Now, Baranowice is going to be liberated by our forces, but I'm going to try to make it to Brest-Litovsk, and we actually managed to make it there without any difficulty. We've also got some tanks here, but it's going to take them a while to move forward. And as for our Pliev tanks here, I want to reinforce them to the max, get these tanks back to perfect shape so that we've got 2 massive tank armies helping us out in this campaign. So let's go ahead and do that. And of course, we've got this army of trapped Hungarian and German troops that we're just going to try to blow to hell. Could take a while because they're actually, despite being cut off, they're strong fighters, but I don't think they're going to be able to hold out forever. They actually did a pretty good job there. Let's throw in some bombing runs. We may have already done these bombing runs in the last turn, but if we're not able to, we could still do a lot of damage to the weaker forces here. So let's go ahead and do that. Move forward with the 11th Guards, Red Army, and we're almost going to destroy that force. Let's go ahead. Maybe we'll wait one more turn, and we'll go for the Hungarians here. The Hungarians are actually getting pretty rowdy, my goodness. So they're slowing down our advance a little bit, not really much, but enough to frustrate me. Go ahead and attack the 2nd Corps, the German 2nd Corps. And we can bring in some bombers, but once again, these bombers also need to be reinforced. Let's get them to the max, 94 MPP. It's going to be expensive, but I think it's worth it. Let's go ahead and attack with the 2nd Rocket Artillery. And with this tank division, I'm going to cut off the enemy and attack at Ostrov, of course. And just basically move up even closer to the enemy line. And I think for once, we can take Beshov. We've been trying to take this city for a long time. So let's see if we can finish them off this time. Take it, and there we go. Beshov got 188 national morale bonus, and we can also move in a fresh 2nd Corps to hit the German tank division here. But they actually managed to fight back pretty well, and to be honest, they're quite a strong group of guys. So I think we're going to be a little more careful next time with the German tank division. Nonetheless, Narva is also open. I'm going to go for it. Really, we should have brought reinforcements to those bombers, but I'm pretty desperate to take Narva, so I'm willing to take a risk. Come on. The Finns are actually helping them hold this area. And it looks like the guys at Narva are safe and sound. Too bad. Okay, so let's go for it. Beautiful. Got 2 of them there. They managed to hold off once again. They keep reinforcing the units here at Narva, so it's definitely costing them a lot. And I might even hit the Finnish units here if we can manage to get a good attack, but it looks like they're going to stand up to any attacks we throw at them, so I'd rather just keep that as a static front, not really worry too much about it, and focus on them later. Besides, we've got a lot of things to do here, and most of those things involve getting reinforcements for these armies. I want to make sure that as they move into Germany, and we're very close to Germany, guys. We're literally miles away from the border now. We want to go in with as many fully armed armies as possible. I know that wasn't the greatest choice of words, fully armed armies, but we're going to keep on moving, and we want to make sure to bring these generals forward as well. So let's make sure these generals are assisting. Reinforce here with some armies. And we've also got some partisans that are going to be helping us. Now, we've already taken Brest-Litovsk. a major city, as you can imagine, but Kovel stays in German hands, and I definitely want to destroy Kovel, but not before I destroy that German armored train. Who knows, it might be Hitler's gold train, and we've just struck a beautiful, beautiful situation. So let's see if we can go ahead. Yeah, we're going to reinforce the Second Army, Shock Army there. And we can also start attacking Stanislavov probably next turn. But right now, we're trying to get as many citizens into the Red Army, because when we're this close to victory, we want to make sure we go in there fully armed. As the mob would say, we want to go in heavy, which basically means we want to go in strong, armed, and ready to fight. So I'm going to try to get this tank. This tank's in a terrible spot, the Red Guards division. I'm going to try to break through to him, and to do that, we might have to leave Bacău in the dust temporarily, but we could try to attack Chisinau, and I might also just give it a few turns while they realize they have no supply left. Let's also go ahead and destroy that Grossdeutschland mechanized division, send them off to Siberia, 320 national morale bonus. That's how valuable that unit is to the Germans. So we can see that the Grossdeutschland division is really strong, and we're also getting closer to the capital of Romania. So maybe we could cause Romania to capitulate pretty soon here. I'm going to be moving these partisans just around Yugoslavia, try and take more and more of the enemy territory. Let's move these guys forward to Lvov. No, they're not in a position to attack. We can try, though. What the hell? No, like I said, still not in a position to attack, but we'll get that artillery up close and personal. What about Kovel? The enemy's still holding out. They still have a little bit of fight left in them, although I don't anticipate that's going to last very long. Alright, getting closer to Dagavopils, and I want to definitely bring forward some more units. So we've got a few units here that are on their way, like these guys right here, the 24th Corps, which is that the 14th Corps? You guys tell me. Terrible with Roman numerals, especially when I'm reading them at a second's glance. And, yeah, we could cut off some units here, just cutting off the enemy even more. And we'll go for Chisinau. It looks like they still have some fight left in them. Good for them. And Bacău is certainly a target, but I think I'm going to wait just a little bit longer. We do have to attack across a river to hit Bacău, and that's no fun for anybody. So I think we're just going to wait for the 8th Army here to run out of supplies, and then, of course, really bring in the Soviet hammer to finish them off. We could also go ahead and reinforce these bombers. So the Soviet Army is undergoing a major amount of reinforcements all over the line, because we want this to be a strong fighting force all the way to Berlin. Let's see, maybe we could get these guys. Nah. Although, wouldn't mind attacking this garrison unit. What are they doing alive anyway? And at Ostrov, those guys have run out of supplies a long time ago. 150 national morale bonus. The NM bonus we're getting here is incredible. And it's just going to get better as we keep destroying the German army. If we back out a little bit, you can see the situation. We're so close, guys. But we've got to keep that invasion in the west going. So I want to make sure that our men are moving. Of course, we are in Grand Old Paris. But there's a lot of other areas to take, like Brussels, of course, Luxembourg. Right now, I'm going to try to liberate our American tanks with our Canadian friends. And to do that, I think we're going to need some bomber support. So we don't know how well this is going to go, but liberating Amiens, maybe my French-speaking friends can tell me how to say that properly, is going to be of utmost importance. So there we go. We're going to bomb the hell out of this area. And let's bring in some more bombers. A bit too far from Amiens, but we can probably do some damage to these other areas like St. Malo. We don't need that area still in control of the German, or by the Germans. So let's liberate it with bombs. We've shattered the division. And we got 173 national morale bonus. We can also reinforce this British tank crew next turn. For now, I just want to retake that area. And we still got some Germans at Brest. So I'm going to try to damage them as much as I can with our battleships. But honestly, we're probably going to have to go in and actually deal some real damage to them. We'll also reinforce our generals here. I don't like to have General Bradley at a disadvantage. So we've got this British tank force that just landed at Caen. I'm going to bring them to Tours. I'm going to start attacking. And this is actually a Hungarian unit holding Tours. So So I believe we can probably take it pretty quickly. But of course, it's going to take us a little longer to get into southern France. But don't forget now that the army of Charles de Gaulle, or I should say, not the army of Charles de Gaulle, but the government of Charles de Gaulle, has begun. We now have a free France, and we definitely want to continue forward. Maybe we'll even start getting some reinforcements. Who knows? Only time will tell from the French. But for now, we just need to continue our attacks. And keep attacking at Orléans, places like this. Definitely going to be leaving that 1st British Corps in Paris, at least for now. I'd love to go for Rheims. You know what, we'll go for it. I can't help myself. And we've actually taken some more territory here from the enemy. And let's go south of Nantes, just to cut them off. And we will, of course, liberate La Rochelle. With our partisan units, we could probably liberate Dijon. There we go. Also, the name of my favorite condiment. What a surprise. And we're still trying to take Siena, but as you guys know, this Italian front is a tough one. So we will go ahead and send in some bombers to try and soften up the troops at Siena. Boom. But it's going to take more than that. They really don't want to give up this city, and with reason. Come on, boys. Let's liberate it. French Expeditionary Corps here, guys. So this is a French force. I do want to reinforce these Americans, but we can only reinforce them by 1 point. It's not the greatest reinforcement ever, but it's good enough for me. We've just shattered the troops at Siena, so I will send our Americans here to go ahead and take the city back. We're also very close to Florence now, so let me move up some British tanks. No, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do a lot of damage against the enemy here. Like I said, this Italian front to me is even more deadly than the Eastern front right now. And if we're going to get any sort of gains, it's going to be by chance or because of the fact that the enemy is sending all of their men to the Eastern front or to the Western front to stop our attacks. With the partisans here in Mostrar, I will try to attack. We've also got some Yugoslav partisans here. And I think we could probably attack from the north, try to get to Tirana in Albania. We do want to try and hit them with these partisans, but the garrison units here seem to be strong enough to hold us back. But I think once these Yugoslav partisans meet up with the Albanian partisans, we've really got a chance to do a lot of damage here. Let's also try and take more areas near Larissa, although we know that if we go anywhere near Athens or Larissa, the Germans will probably destroy us. So I think keeping southern Greece in our hands is probably enough. It's probably sufficient right now for us not to mess around too much with them. So I think we've done enough movement here. Let's see if these Americans can at least get to the south here at Rennes. Indeed they can. And of course Paris is still liberated. We've also got this AV unit, so we're going to drop off some more units and some British forces. And actually we can attack Nantes with our paratroopers and probably do some serious damage there. And let's see if we can send any more men over the ocean, over here at Dover. No, we're going to have to wait a little bit. Just a little bit. We might have some bombers. Yep, sure enough. Nice. We're going for Amiens with the French tanks. Excuse me, the Canadian tanks. Well, they might be Quebecois, who knows? Beautiful. So we're going to be taking Amiens, if we do well, pretty soon. Of course, the enemy's got some defensive aircraft fire, but that can only last so long. And if we just take a look at the map right now, we could see the Germans are in some serious trouble. We're slowly but surely closing that gap. I'm going to go ahead and end the turn it over to the Germans. Yes, I want to end this turn. And hopefully the Germans are mostly retreating, not doing any counterattacks, especially not any counterattacks to retake Paris, because that would just shut down our whole French government system. Italian pro-Allied resistance activity hinders Axis supply. Beautiful. Okay, it looks like they opened up some railroads at Colville, although none of them are actually going to reach the German enemy, and I don't think this area is large enough to bring in any trucks, really. But you can see they're getting some reinforcements, just like we were reinforcing our lines, and sure enough, at Narva, they always go for the reinforcements. Here in the center, though, they're not going to have any luck. And it looks like it's raining over here in this area in Finland, or probably snowing. So, not sure if this is a good time to attack. Probably not. And we actually put our men down there near Romania. Not a great position, to be honest with you. We could still salvage ourselves, but we've unintentionally cut ourselves off from our own rail lines. They're trying to damage our air forces here. And they're actually getting some pretty good bombing runs on our frontal troops. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference, but it's interesting to see that these guys still have some fight left in them. There we go. Some naval guns trying to damage our destroyers. They're doing an okay job, I must say. It's not going to save them, but maybe the last shots that the Germans are going to be firing at our navy. We still got that irritating German submarine moving around. That one too. He might actually destroy that destroyer, and he did indeed. They got 163 national morale bonus, but they took a nasty hit. So at least the Germans can write in the papers, well, we destroyed a group of British destroyers today, but otherwise we've lost ground everywhere else. And they're trying to hurt these British tanks. They're doing a good job, but our men are also fighting back ferociously and managing to get some kills. Romanians fighting back at Bacău. Alright, calculating supply. Well, I think we did okay. Of course, there's a lot of work still to be done. But, of course, losing that particular unit, that wasn't great, but losing a destroyer group, I'm not really that concerned. A little annoyed, but not concerned. Alright guys, we can keep on moving. First things first, I'm going to move these partisans forward. Liberate some areas over there on that side of the Bug River. We'll also finally cut off these Germans at Kovel. And we can actually do some damage to that armored train. There we go. But of course, you guys know how this works, like it always does. We will be back for more, of course. But at this point, we want you guys to keep on watching the series. Keep hitting that like button. Let's try to get the views up to 500 for each of these. And if we can do that, we're absolutely going to keep this series up and running. I think it's very important, though, that we do that and really try to build a following. So don't forget to watch episode 1. We've got this in a playlist, so it shouldn't be hard for you guys to find. And if you do find it, obviously share it with your friends. Watch from the beginning because a lot has happened, and we want to make sure that we keep on winning. First things first, we're going to go to Bucharest. For once, the garrison units are fighting back pretty well, so I'm a little worried there. I don't think I want to push anymore. Maybe next turn. Thank you guys. Take care. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And have a lovely, lovely day, my friends. Maybe we take Timoshada.